Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology for October 16th, 2021. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 13. And if you add the 1 and the 3 together, you get the number 4. The number 4 teaches listening, patience, and balance. It is a number of communication, but that must first start with understanding others and the context in which we find ourselves. To do that, we need to be open and to be able to really listen with the intent to comprehend what others are trying to tell us. In this world today, too many want to talk and not listen. That is what our social media is all about. Others get to say their opinions and find those whose biases match theirs, instead of having to be open to the information of others that could inform and expand. They instead have excuses to remain blocked and locked into patterns that inhibit rather than enlighten. That is never the intention of the number 4 to stop the flow of truth or insight. It is the desire of the number 4 to be open to what is revealed by really listening. Today, open up channels of communication by listening and finding a way to create spaces that allow for hidden emotions to be expressed. The astrology today. The moon is in Pisces and it allows us to feel those things that have been previously suppressed. This moon asks us to be more open to what we are feeling in this moment. Venus and Chiron activate and with a Mercury in retrograde and try to soften the tremendous upsets that have happened in the last month. Do not feel bad if some of us are experiencing a difficult shift. It can open doorways that allow for relationships to become more real, even in the midst of human imperfections. When we actually see each other for who we are, then there are moments that bridge time and space and connect with the infinite. It is clear that we need each other, and perhaps all this crazy worldly stuff is happening in order to get us to see how true human and social interactions are more important than we realized. Mercury is still retrograde for a few more days, and that is something that can give a new insight into things that have been a struggle to understand. I know it seems that things in life are just not moving in the right direction. Because of that, avoid making major choices or decisions at this time. Clear thinking is not really possible today. Mercury and Venus will sextile, and it supports a more cooperative attitude and encourages supportive engagements with others. Mars and Neptune transit in a way that is making us feel more unclear and confused. We want to feel better, but to do that, we have to be more in tune with what we need on an emotional and spiritual level. My quote for today. As we move closer to the time of Halloween, the ancestors reach out to us from in between. They whisper encouragement to those still in life. They support us by stepping beyond self-doubt and strife. Because life can be too short for some, and for others it can be too harsh an outcome. But life is what we have all craved, and at times it is wise to perhaps misbehave. Reaching past this time and space, the ancestors warn us to make an about-face. Within this place and dimension in time, we are seeking a profound shift in the timeline. We are in a moment when times coalesce and combine, and for a brief moment may define the transitions that will show a pathway ahead. It is one that too many want to resist instead. But those that resist this place and space will be challenged and exit this time without grace. And my blog for today. There have been many moments when I have bumped into the dead. I believe our ancestors support us in times of distress and upset, as well as guides will reach out when we are feeling so scared and alone. And because life is filled with many forgotten moments historically, there are echoes of past moments that can loop or that reach out to the living in order for reconciliation and resolution. It is always clear to me that we are never alone, and that we have so many on the other side that surround us and protect us from ourselves. What I know is that we have to learn to be tolerant of those that get lost. We have to be tolerant of when we also lose our way. The human failings of anger, greed, ignorance, and fear exist because the soul has lost touch with who they are here to be. When we think we are better than another, we take more than our fair share. When we do not have respect for all forms of life, we create destruction and conflict. When we do not honor what we feel, we break and fall apart. When we think badly of others, we have allowed too much darkness in, and what colors our experience, and that is how we make mistakes. Thanks, everyone.